Have you ever had one of those days where it feels like the universe is conspiring against you? Well, that's been Jordan Poole's reality for the entire NBA season. From cringeworthy moments on the court to 0-point games, his journey has been more of a roller coaster ride than a party. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty. Entering the first year of his hefty $128 million contract, Jordan Poole is expected to soar to new heights. Unfortunately, reality had other plans. His performance has fallen short of expectations, with stats so dismal they'd make even your granny throw a fit. As of today, he's stuck in a slump so deep, it's hard to even call it a slump anymore. Now let's break it down. There are two main ways we judge a player's performance: the numbers test and the eye test. Sometimes a player shines in one but falters in the other. Take D'Angelo Russell. For instance, he had a smooth style of play that passed the eye test, but his stats told a different story. On the flip side, there's Nicholas Batum, who boasted impressive numbers but didn't always look comfortable on the court. And then there's Jordan Poole. My skepticism about his ability to bounce back stems from the fact that he's failing both tests. His stats are underwhelming, and his gameplay lacks the finesse we expect from a player of his caliber. So where does this leave Jordan Poole? Can he turn things around? Well, the road ahead looks tough, but in the NBA, anything's possible. To put things into perspective, Poole's shooting just 40% from the field, and a mere 30% from beyond the arc. Now in basketball terms, shooting over 50% is solid. Around 45% is average. But hitting 40%, well, that's dangerously close to getting cut from the league. And as for that 30% from three-point range, that's about what Giannis Antetokounmpo shoots. And we all know teams practically beg him to shoot from downtown. But here's the real kicker. Poole isn't just any player. He's a volume shooter, taking around 14 shot attempts per game. Yet he hasn't scored over 30 points once this season. That's not just falling short, that's plummeting to new depths. Now let's talk about the eye test. Here's Poole in action, tasked with leading the charge in a critical moment. But instead of stepping up, he fumbles the ball with a blatant carry. Plays like these aren't isolated incidents either. Every time I scour the internet for fresh content, I stumble upon new lowlights of Poole's struggles on the court. So here's the bottom line. Jordan Poole's performance in Washington has been nothing short of disappointing. Despite being a second option for scoring, he's failed every test, both in numbers and on the court. And until he can turn things around, the narrative won't change. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was diving into a highlight reel of the Wizards vs. Cleveland game, eager to see Poole in action. But after watching a 10-minute video, not a single highlight, I was puzzled. So I headed over to ESPN.com to check the box score, and there it was. 0 points. That's right, folks. 0. For a player earning a hefty $27 million this year, that's simply unacceptable. Now let's dissect why this is happening. Some blame it on Draymond's infamous practice incident, while others argue that defenses have figured him out. But to me, it feels like Poole's fallen into the trap of the superstar lifestyle. Once hailed as the next Splash Brother, he's now become the punchline of the league. Many fans share this sentiment, with one commenting that winning a title in year 2 broke his brain, convincing him he's Steph Curry with less than half the skill. And then there's the undeniable desire for Instagram-worthy highlights. Every time Poole touches the ball, it's as if he's chasing a highlight reel, rather than focusing on the game at hand. Poole's defensive woes and lackluster performance are concerning, to say the very least. Unless he can shake off the distractions and refocus on his game, he risks becoming a cautionary tale in NBA circles. The truth is, Poole's in a tough spot. In Golden State, he was surrounded by legends like Curry and Thompson, who served as mentors. But in Washington, it's a whole different ballgame. The organization's lack of championship aspirations makes it hard to find motivation. When there's no drive to win, it's challenging to push yourself to greatness. Look at NBA history. There's no shortage of cautionary tales. Players like Chandler Parsons and Luol Deng vanished into thin air after signing big contracts. Parsons spent most of his time on the bench due to injuries and partying, while Deng found himself sidelined by a new focus on developing younger talent. It's a path Poole might be treading on if things don't turn around soon. So what's next for Poole? With the Wizards not seeing him in their future plans, options seem limited. Will he be willing to accept a lesser role on a non-contender team, or will he explore international options, like playing in China? It's unclear, but recent events, like Brandon Podziemski's candid moment with Draymond, add a humorous twist to Poole's roller coaster journey. In the end, Poole's future hangs in the balance, with fame and pride on one side and the harsh reality of NBA uncertainties on the other. Only time will tell where he lands. Stay tuned for updates on this evolving stories. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.